How you doing?
I'm doing well. Thank you for asking.
Pog. We are joined now, I assume. Are they here? Your editor?
My assistant. I edit.
Assistant, sorry, it's gotcha.
Hi
Um,
there. Nice to meet
Howdy.
you, Vaj.
Nice to meet you too. I never quite have this set up properly. There we go. There we go. Close enough. How the hell are you doing this fine almost Christmas day?
I'm doing amazing. Thank you very much for asking. How are you?
Doing wonderfully. I was actually surprised when when I got your messages because I was probably going to go over the video that you had made earlier
Hmm.
today, or sorry, that you had released I think yesterday, during stream today. So this actually seems like a much more efficient way of getting at those talking points.
Oh yeah.
Hmm. What
More than happy to answer.
Yeah, what incentivized you? Okay, so in your own words, because you'll do a better job than me, because we haven't watched it, since we were going to.
Okay.
What is the video? What is the dealio? What is your name? What are your pronouns? Do the whole run through. I trust you.
Okay. Right now?
Yeah, hit it.
Okay. I am Max, owner of Mamamax. I go by he, him. What else did you ask? I'm sorry.
The video. What was its deal? What's the
Oh,
whole
okay.
dealio? Right.
Well, my video got removed for. Am I allowed to swear or no?
You are absolutely allowed to swear.
Oh, okay. For some dumb shit, like I showed the bare ass of a virtual character for 2 seconds. Obviously, YouTube has had worse. So, but it's not the first time this has happened. Anytime they can take down my video for whatever it may be, sex, sex and nudity, bullying and harassment, violence, like they always take down my shit. So
What
this video.
What was the video that with the aforementioned ass?
It was a 90-minute documentary about, well, I say documentary, they're a hybrid. My content is like half documentary, half fictional. And we can go more into that if you're curious.
Mhm.
But yeah, it was a 90-minute documentary about IMVU or MVU, the metaverse video game website thing, and how there's just a fuck ton of predators on there. And it goes highly unnoticed. It was requested by my audience to make that video because, and even in the video, I have some of the victims talk about it.
And that video got taken down for what you're claiming
Sex and
was
nudity.
a very spurious. Okay, because I did see the beginning of your video when I was looking at it last night. I saw the first, I think, 6 or 7 minutes, and I saw that, and it was, I think, literally just like some dumb cartoon ass or whatever that very
Yeah.
tactfully pixelated. In the follow-up video, that you released just the other day, so that seemed like kind of a dumb reason. How long ago was that video taken down?
Like 2 or 3 weeks ago.
So you really made this video quickly then, the most recent one.
Yeah. I wanted it up by a week, but I was waiting on people's parts, like for that mid section where I feature everyone, because I wanted them in it because they are the balanced approach, whereas I'm more of the emotional, aggressive type. So yeah, I was just I made it pretty fast.
Gotcha. So what was that video about?
The one I just dropped.
Right, the one that I learned about because you went trending on Twitter very aggressively.
Gotcha. Yes. That was about my video getting taken down, and then all of these other creators who have their videos taken down that expose like animal abuse, pedophiles. Oh, I'm sorry. Do I need a trigger warning for all this?
No, not on this.
Okay.
Channel.
Okay. Yeah. Just the horrible shit that needs to be exposed, needs to be covered. And our shit gets taken down, but the shit we're covering doesn't get taken down.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can literally go onto YouTube right now, type IMVU, and there's a bunch of sex videos and incest videos. And I go over a lot of that in my documentary.
Gotcha. So the impression that I got from the portion of the video I saw, because I saw there were other creators involved as well, is that the concern here is that there's a genre of YouTube video, You know, it's called I guess, like, investigative journalism. You know, however you want to parse it. It's, you know, you do an expose on some bad shit online, sometimes on YouTube, sometimes elsewhere, and the claim here is that YouTube is taking these videos down and not taking down the content that's actually being covered. Essentially, there's a sort of a disproportionate blowback to an effort to expose these issues.
For the most part, yes, that is essentially what it is.
And what does your video ask people to do? I'm asking for my own sake too, because I didn't see to the end.
Okay. Gotcha. So basically just pushing people. This is the pushback from all that. Cause, you know, when YouTube fucks with us, we just got to take it in the ass and just deal with it because they're a multi-billion-dollar corporation. And what the fuck are we? And anytime we've stood up before, it never goes anywhere. Like Susan Wojcicki like makes all these promises that, okay, we're going to change shit, but nothing ever changes. It only gets worse, like with the dislike removal and things that are unanimously hated. But
the dislike removal is a particularly heinous. I'm sorry, my cat just leaped onto my computer. What's up,
that's okay.
The dislike removal, I think, is a particularly heinous and disagreeable solution to a problem that I don't really think existed. So I want to. So I'm going to take a guess here because we haven't really spoken prior to you coming on here. I assume that you're talking to a good number of people right now as part of an effort to bring more attention to the issues posed in the video.
Yes. So my video was meant to be the start to get the ball rolling, but it's not going to go anywhere unless these bigger channels that I called out fucking say something. And it's why I do it. Like, I hate calling people out. I hate drama. I want no part of it. I just want to be in my little hole and make my videos. But nothing fucking happens until we start shit. And that is how YouTube has operated historically with, you know, as our relationship as creators with YouTube. Like, they don't do anything until we start shit with them. And that's why I do that.
Okay, well, that's fantastic then, because for the portion of the video that I did see, and again, I don't mean to phrase that in a way to suggest disinterest. I had planned to actually watch the entire video, but then I was distracted by my cats, and just life kind of rolled on.
It's all right.
Yeah, from there. Yeah, we're operating on a pretty short time scale. There were a number of questions that I had while watching it. So the logistics of social media moderation are something that get brought up on my channel all the time, mostly because conservatives are terrified of Twitter TOS. They live in fear of it, you know what I mean? And so the subject comes up quite often. With YouTube moderation and content removal, I know this is a big issue. I've dealt with plenty of fraudulent strikes and claims in my time. I know people who have as well. A big one is COVID misinformation. Recently, a channel I'm fond of, I'm friends with the guy named Sanderhall. He was covering some really wacky COVID-19 conspiracy shit. And right, he was, you know, making fun of it. I mean, he was tearing into it. But his channel got a strike against it for COVID misinformation. They challenged the strike, it got removed, and then within 24 hours, YouTube had reapplied the same strike on the same video for the same reason. There's a lot of really fucking weird shit behind the scenes. Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. So I want to ask you then, with regards to this, my guess for the reason why the investigative videos get taken down is a matter of targeted interest. When you do an expose on, you know, a collection of really fucked up stuff on YouTube, you know, your audience might report some of it, but it's spread out. It's sometimes kind of hard to find. Not always, but sometimes. And additionally, it's not in their direct material interest to do so, if they're just in it for the entertainment or the drama. But the people who you're covering, you know, whether they be pedophiles, zoophiles, whatever else, they see an expose video like yours, and it's like a lighthouse in the night, a beacon in the darkness for what they need to report. Because the last thing they want is for your video to get traction. So it seems like an issue here is that the incentive structure guarantees that bad people will be much more effective at reporting content that calls them out than good
Yes.
people will be at content called out, you know?
Definitely.
How the hell do you fix that?
I think Markiplier, about a year ago, he presented a good alternative where we self-moderate. Like YouTube, all YouTube has to do is tell us a timestamp, and we can self-moderate. Like, okay, I will remove this timestamp, and then the video is good. We don't have to fucking appeal. Like, we don't have to re-edit the video, re-upload the video. It kills the views. We don't have to do all that. Like, we can just self-moderate on what they timestamp, or we can appeal it and defend it and see if it goes through. I think that's a great alternative. But I'm not an expert in what we should be doing. I just know what we currently have is bullshit. And everyone agrees.
Yeah, I think I agree with that. It's really difficult to talk about stuff like this, I think, because it's in YouTube's interest to not pay attention. A central theme in your video is that YouTube is just about advertiser-friendly channels. You know, speaking of Markiplier, by the way, you know, that they prioritize, because, like, realistically, you know, a YouTuber like Markiplier, in terms of advertisement generation, is worth 1,000 of me. I mean, maybe that might be lowballing it, honestly. I mean, he's a, you know, a mountain next to my you know, pile of cow shit. It's such a huge difference. So the effort that they expend on managing the moderation of, like, smaller content relative to the colossal channels, you know, I think the argument they would make, though they'll never say it, like, they'll never say this out loud, but essentially it's not cost effective to have a good monetization or moderation system, because the best channels for YouTube don't require any moderation. They're so advertiser friendly and they're so popular, they don't even have to lift a finger. The money just rolls in. They would be dedicating 99% of their moderation efforts to, like, maybe 5% proportionally of their revenue, you know? How would you incentivize that? Like, how do you pitch that argument?
Okay. So advertisers they just want their public image to look good, right? Like, they don't want to be part of, like, this dude that's promoting Nazism, right?
I would hope not. Yeah, that'd be pretty bad looking.
I think the public can agree that we don't fucking like pedophiles. Okay, and advertisers, I think they would be cool putting their ads on content that's against pedophilia, whereas YouTube puts out this, like, whole blanket of, like, you can't, like, talk about any dark shit. There needs to be more protections for investigative content in general, and also, I just had a brain fart. I don't even know where I'm going.
No, I get you. The critical thing here is context, right? I mean, you can have, like, you could have a video that's incredibly racist that never says a racial slur, or even, in fact, mentions race. You can dog whistle that into abstraction. You know, you can talk about different kinds of people have different abilities. You know, you could run that down sounding like it's a fairy tale, and then you can have a very anti-racist video with people belting out the hard R. Maybe they're reading old historical passages, or, you know, maybe they're play acting out some kind of, you know, dialectical argument or whatever. But for moderation purposes, you know, an automatic system is only going to hear the N-word, you know, not the dog whistle.
Right.
And a real actual moderation team is honest to God probably not going to be much better. I don't trust.
No, yeah.
No.
I don't think that's the solution.
How do you Okay. How the fuck do we win? How do you beat that?
I think just YouTube needs to fucking talk to us, like, to at least start something, instead of ignoring us and keep doing things the way we're doing. Because the way we're doing things makes people like me start shit. They have conditioned me to do this. Like, I tried reaching out to them privately. I tried resolving this peacefully. I would love to do it that way, but it just, I think we need to start a conversation, or we need to start something because shit obviously isn't working.
Yeah, no, I agree with you, because I think some people might be frustrated, or that there's not really a specific answer, but it is ultimately about incentive structures. It is incentivized on YouTube's end to maximize profit, and one of the ways to do that is to maximize attention given to very ad-friendly channels and to minimize the drain from less ad-friendly channels. I do a lot of, okay, I do almost entirely political content, okay? Compared to most larger channels, my channel is a fucking minefield. You know, it is like a anti-ad friendly, just like nightmare realm. You know,
Same.
yeah. It's, you know, it's like it's a wasteland for advertisers. So given that, I understand, but you can change the incentive structure. If you bitch loud enough, YouTube then has another incentive to take in mind, which is bad PR from all these channels getting angry. You know, if the right people signal boost this kind of stuff.
Yes.
When I saw your video, again, the portion of it that I did, you know, I hope I'm not endorsing. I hope in the latter half you don't, you know, endorse Nazism or right, you know, like, yeah, announce the Fourth Reich or whatever. I hope I caught a representative portion of the video.
Yeah.
I definitely agree with the thrust of it. You know, recently YouTube sent out a wave of emails, I think, offering people what were they, content partners? What was the name of that? You must have gotten one if I got one. Do you remember that? They, like, you can apply to have a content partner or something.
Yes, yeah, I know about that.
Yeah. I wonder if there would be a way to have not videos but channels have different levels of like flag restrictions, where if you've been up for years and years and you don't have like a history of breaking the rules, maybe YouTube holds off a little bit on pulling the trigger with you, whereas maybe new channels or channels that have been yeah, like kind of a standing, basically. I don't think YouTube does that right now, basically.
They don't. Like, you're good enough to send a silver plaque, but you're not good enough for anything else. Like, they treat you the same way someone with like zero subscribers.
Yeah, which actually, now that I say, it's kind of weird, right? I mean, yeah, like I have the damn plaque behind me. It's really strange that you would have a system where, you know, you've made hundreds of thousands through AdSense. You know, you've had a channel in good standing for years and years and years, but you are as vulnerable to a strike or a video takedown as literally any other channel. Well, with some exceptions, the super ad friendly channels and the brand channels are definitely like immune. Like, they're definitely immune. Again, YouTube is super opaque about their, you know, their rules, I think. But yeah, having some kind of standing system would definitely be at least a little bit of an improvement, I think.
I agree. Like, and we just came up with this off the cuff. Like, I'm sure if YouTube put their fucking brains to it, they could come up with a real solution, as long as they open a dialogue with us creators who make their site what it is. Like, let's do something we can agree on, you know? Like, just open a dialogue.
Yeah.
That's all I want.
Just, YouTube used to be a lot cooler, you know?
I agree. Yes.
I mean, there were issues. I mean, I do like the fact that, you know, right now we have HD video, infinite amount of stuff to consume, and the fact that people can make money from YouTube, by the way, means that more people are able to do it as their jobs, which means, you know, I think that they have an incentive to produce better stuff. It used to be all hobbyists, right? I mean, back in like 2009, 2000, yeah, it was like, you know, people in their backyards with like shaky, you know, GoPro even a thing back there? Shaky like video cams, 240p, you know, dog videos, and now you have this well, it's very streamlined, but if anything, I think the moderation has gotten worse with time, maybe just as a product of scale.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned that, because back then it didn't feel like there was that many quote unquote bad videos. Like, it feels like it's more of a problem now.
By bad, you mean like weird pedo shit, right? Yeah. Well, the internet wasn't like that at first, I don't think. You back in the 90s and like 2000s or whatever, you had like the TimeCube websites and like insane fringe shit like that, but I feel like the main websites didn't have this plague of creepy, weird shit the way they do right now.
Yeah.
You don't have to go looking for long on YouTube to find some really objectionable stuff, or on Twitter, or, you know, certainly not on Facebook, at least.
I agree.
Well, I do hope it's something that can be improved on. That big distinction, like, you know, whether or not your reports matter. I wonder about that. Like, is it maybe it could be about like verified users or something, or maybe if you file a report on a channel that ends up being fraudulent, or they find that it's not like true, you know, maybe that could be kind of a little ding against you. And if you get too many dings against you, your reports stop like working for a while, or people could just make new accounts, I guess. It is definitely something worth looking into, you know.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know what else to. Yeah, fuck, it's such a difficult logistical problem. There are so many parts of the equation that are kept secret from us. Information only YouTube has, so it's really difficult to have an informed opinion on stuff without that.
No, yeah, I'm sure there's people a lot smarter than I am that can figure this out.
Or can't. Well, it's worth bitching about, even if we can't find a solution.
Right.
You know? Maybe that'll prompt someone to eventually find a solution.
Yes.
That'd be cool.
Yes. I agree.
Well, either way, I do appreciate you coming on, and I think what you're doing is incredibly worthwhile. You know,
How can you say that, man?
I hadn't actually heard about your channel before the whole trending thing, so I'd booked up a few of your videos and watched later. And,
okay, thank you.
Well, I mean, I'm a fan of the genre, I think, right? You know, I remember you know, the whole, I'm sure you know, the Elsagate stuff.
Of course.
Right, yeah, it's yeah. So obviously now it's not as much of an issue because of changes they made to YouTube Kids and a bunch of other stuff. But I remember being aware of it before it became the big thing that it was, because through chance I happened across one of those. It was like Hitler bouncing on a bed, daytime care song, Spider-Man pregnant. I mean, just some shit like that. And I saw some of that stuff, and I ran down that rabbit hole, and I saw some of these videos had like 6, 7, sometimes 8-digit views, and I thought, why the fuck is nobody talking about this? How is no attention being brought to this at all? What the fuck is going on? Am I asleep? You know, like, it kind of feels like a dream state.
No, yeah, I made a whole video about it.
Absolutely wild stuff.
It is
corner of the internet, probably best kept, I think, to the annals of history. Oh my god, I'm sorry, my cats are battling. Can you?
It's okay.
Literally, honestly, it's cold up here in Seattle. I just think they're ornery over it. Anyway, oh my god. Woo. I do appreciate you taking the time to hop on. Was there anything?
I appreciate you inviting me. Thank you, man.
Yeah, of course. No, it's a pleasure. Would you like to? I mean, I imagine, given the context of the conversation, most people can probably figure it out. But would you like to shout your stuff out?
Oh, sure. Thank you. Mamamax on YouTube. That's it.
Nailed it in one. No, okay, yeah, we have it in the commands list there now. Okay, gotcha. Well, thank you very much for hopping on. Again, really hoping the latter half of the video didn't contain, a denial of the Holocaust, and I'm not throwing my weight behind anything I don't agree with, but
I do start shit with some other YouTubers just to get the ball rolling, just to make people give a shit.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, no, that's very important.
It's just stupid drama that I start. Like, it's not anything.
Get Ethan Klein and Hasanabi sometime. Okay.
I'm tweeting at Ethan. I've been tweeting at him the past 2 days.
All right, get him good. Make him good and angry. I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you. I do hope that we're able to improve on this sometime in the future.
I hope so too, Vosh.
It seems.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, I don't want YouTube to just become like another cable network channel, like it's all brand accounts and sponsored content. Just
same.
God willing. You have a good day, okay?
You too, man. Thank you.
Peace.